Being financially responsible in the U.S. has come to mean borrow and repay. Everyone was told, if you want to be financially responsible, borrow money and repay it back and do that over and over again until you die. U.S. household debt now surpasses $17 trillion, which tells me that debt is the most aggressively marketed product in American history. And we are so good. America's number one in a lot of things, and debt is one of them. Marketing is one of them.
All right, so welcome back to the channel. Today is Saturday, and you know what? I think going forward with this channel, what I'm going to do is that on Saturdays and Sundays, on the weekends, when I do put out content, I think that I will reserve those particular days, these particular weekend days, for content that is not so heavily market focused, right? What do I mean by that? Well, I want to talk about some other things that also affect the area of finance that might not necessarily be an expose on a company or a deep dive into some financials on a company or a deep dive into a particular stock. You know, with the stock market being closed Saturday and Sunday anyway, I think it's well-rounded for this channel to also talk about and discuss and leave room for open discussion of some other things that are affecting our finances on a day-to-day, monthly, yearly basis. I believe that it's important to be well-rounded when you are trying to tackle your finances and you're trying to get a hold of and control of your financial situation. You need to attack it from multiple angles, right? You need to attack it from multiple angles. Just being able to invest into a company is cool, right? It's great to get started on your investment. But if your other finances, such as your spending habits, right, such as your saving habits, right, such as your lifestyle, if those things are not also in concert with your investment journey, then you are pretty much working backwards, right? You're pedaling backwards. So I think it's important to be well-rounded as we go forward with this channel. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this and, you know, just rocking out with me with no matter what I put out. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And so what are we talking about today? Well, one of the things I want to talk about in this economy with rates, inflation going up through the roof, with the housing market in a crisis, with everything being more expensive, our gas being more expensive, our groceries being $300 to $400 more expensive, with fast food and restaurants and wherever you go, it just seems like we're spending more, right? You're spending more wherever you go. It doesn't matter whatever it is. The consumer discretionary market is at an all-time high, people, and the pay has not met those standards, right? The inflation of the economy has not reached your paycheck, right? So your paycheck is not being inflated, yet everything that we buy on a day-to-day basis is. So I want to talk about ways that we can impact our own lives and ways that we can make change in our own lives and address some of the issues that I think we have that keeps us from being financially free. So I went to, yesterday was my son's prom, okay? And so I drove him. And his girlfriend, and I dropped them off. And while I was waiting, you know, I said, well, I got a couple hours, so they're going to be a while. I'm going to go get me something to eat. Now, the prom where it took place, mind you, I live in Michigan, okay? And I grew up in the hood, okay, in the projects. I was a project boy. I grew up in the projects, downtown Detroit. And so that area right now is completely revamped. You would never recognize it. You would never know that there were ever projects there, okay? However, my mom still lives downtown in the downtown area. And so I'm like, you know, I'll go visit my mom after I drop my son off and his girlfriend off. I went and visited my mom, and I said, you know, well, I'm going to stop at one of my old places, you know, one of my old spots that I used to go to, I used to frequent all the time. And I used to get Chinese food from this spot. One of my favorite spots, I used to love their food, right? I haven't been there in years. It's been literal years, y'all. So I decided to go there yesterday. I pull into the parking lot. I place my order on my phone online, and I wait a couple minutes, and then I go in. I talk to the lady behind the desk, and she says, your order's not ready yet. Give it a couple more minutes. So I say, okay. and I go sit down. As I'm sitting there, I'm watching people walk in through the door, right? I'm watching customers walk in. I'm watching them place orders. I'm watching them pick up orders. I'm watching the woman behind the desk take multiple phone calls. The phone is ringing off the hook. Mind you, it's about 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. in the evening. And it's still jam-packed in this place. Foot traffic, in and out, in and out, in and out, the entire time I was there. And so one of the things that I started thinking about was, because none of the food was up front. They stopped doing that. They only cook to order, right? They make your food to order. So they were cooking in the back. So one of the things that I was wondering, with all this traffic going in, everybody coming in, the phone ringing off the hook crazy, people coming in placing orders in pairs, some of these orders were ranging up to $40, $50 an order. People coming in and ordering the sweet and sour chicken, they ordering the steak and rice, they ordering the gravy, the almond boneless chicken, whatever it is, they ordering tons of food, right? And so the whole time I'm thinking like, man, first thought was, how many people are actually in the back working and cooking? Listen, let me tell y'all something. If y'all have ever cooked for your family, I like to cook, okay? And I like to eat, as you can tell. I'm a big boy. So I like to cook, though. I like to cook. Okay, and I cook for my family often, quite often. I cook more than my wife does. And I can tell you that there have been times, though I love cooking, that it has been stressful in the kitchen. I've experienced moments of stress where it's like, all right, I may have taken on too much here. I'm trying to make an entree. I'm trying to make 2 or 3 different sides along with the main course of the meal. So I understand. My point is, I understand how overwhelming it can be just trying to cook for my family. And my family is nowhere near the volume that this restaurant was experiencing. So I immediately thought to myself, how difficult is it? How much work are they doing back there on a day-to-day basis? Because mind you, they're open Monday through Sunday, they open. So I'm just sitting there wondering, like, man, the people that back there are really, really working their ass off. They got to be. And it can't be any more than about 2 or 3 people back there. 2 or 3 people. That's it. Not a whole team, not a whole squad. It's 2 or 3 people back there. 2 are cooking and 1 is doing cleanup and running orders. And so I immediately thought to myself, man, the work ethic involved with this, the work ethic that it takes to maintain a business, not only maintain it, but to be profitable and to still provide excellent customer service. Y'all don't understand how difficult that is? So it was just like a moment of internal reflection for myself, because I complain about going to work all the time, y'all. I do. I complain about going to my job. Mind you, I work 12 hours, okay? I work 12-hour shifts at my job. Okay, and I mainly work at nights. I work the night shift. So if you ever work the night shift, you already know how bad that is. And then you add on 4 more hours on top of your typical 8, and man, you're in for a long night. However, it was a moment of reflection as I sat there, and I'm like, man, they're working hard. And you didn't hear not one complaint. It was still a smile on their face when they served you your order, when they took your order, when they took your payment. Everything still ran like a well-oiled machine, and it made me wonder about Asian culture and the values that they have and what they were raised on and the principles that they have instilled, that they instill in one another and in themselves and in their children. And so I'm like, man, why are we so far behind as Americans? Why are we so far behind? Listen, let me tell you something. A lot of y'all think that your neighbors, the person that just pulled up in the new whip, a lot of y'all think that they rolling in dough. A lot of y'all think that you're poor and they got a ton of money. Listen, you're not poor. It's not the fact that you're poor and they're not. It's the fact that you're coming to accept the money you don't have and trying to work through that responsibly while they are goddamn in debt. People are in debt. Americans are in debt. We're talking about $1 trillion poor price point. $1 trillion price point of debt, of debt, of money owed. It's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely out of hand, and it's ridiculous. Listen, I want us to watch this clip together, and then we'll get back to it. Let's check this out.
So I recently saw a clip on TikTok where this guy is talking about how Chinese people are so good at saving money. And in today's video, I want to share with you some of these money-saving principles Chinese people do, and hope that we all can learn something from it. But before that, let's answer the question, why are Chinese people so good at saving? To answer that question, let's take a look at a few key factors which affect this. First of which is cultural values. You see, most Chinese follow Confucianism, a philosophy that emphasizes thrift, self-reliance, and planning for the future, which can encourage saving. People following Confucianism are taught to appreciate what they have and not spend money on unnecessary things.
Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there, because he just dropped a hell of a word. In Chinese and Asian culture, they are taught. What he said was they are taught to value the things that they have. Value the things that they have and not overindulge, not spend money frivolously and lavishly on things that they do not need. Listen, in America, we have this idea that when we see something, we want it, it's ours. As Americans, we have that in our heads, that if we see something, we want it, it's ours. I deserve it. I deserve it. That's what we immediately think. And so we do whatever is necessary to go out and obtain that. Whatever it is. Doesn't matter if we got to go in debt for it. Doesn't matter if we got to be late on some other bills for it. Doesn't matter if we got to sacrifice some of our daily or some of the more important things in our lives for it. We will do whatever it takes to get that one thing that we want because we feel obligated to it. Instead of appreciating what we already have, instead of working with what we already have. No, we want to live the lavish life. We want to live the life of luxury. We want everybody else to look at us and say, oh, you're doing it big. That's the shit that we take pride in. And that's why we in goddamn debt.
Living a simple and not too fancy life is important, and this promotes saving extra money for later needs. Confucianism also says individuals should be self-sufficient and take care of themselves. This means being responsible for your own needs and not relying on others for help. Saving money for the future, like retirement or unexpected expenses, is seen as a way to feel secure. Then, there's family obligation. In Asian culture, most especially China, children were primarily responsible for caring for their parents, with limited reliance on external support systems like robust social safety nets. This placed a significant financial responsibility on individuals to prepare for their parents' future needs, including the considerable costs associated with healthcare, especially for long-term care. Providing for living expenses such as housing, food, and utilities added to the financial challenge of supporting elderly parents. Additionally, potential emergencies, such as illnesses or accidents, could further exacerbate the financial burden, emphasizing the need for careful financial planning and preparedness.
All right, we're going to stop it there. This video is about 10 minutes long, and I'm not going to sit here and watch the whole thing, but you get the gist of it, right? We get the gist of it. Listen, the way that Asians and Chinese culture prepares their lives, and the way that they prepare for life, for their future life, and the way they're going to live is completely opposite to the way that we do it here in America. And it has absolutely become a detriment to our lives. We have positioned ourselves to be in debt to another motherfucker or to a company or to whatever it is for the rest of our natural lives. Asians and Asian culture, Chinese, they value their money. They value their time. And what they do is they get started very early. From very early on, they start shaping the future that they want. From very early on, they start putting things into place. They get the relationships, right? Early 20s, I'm talking about late teens, early 20s here. They already have established relationships. They already have established jobs. They already have the full plan as to where they want to go and what they want to do. And it's likely that they already have savings. Why? Because they take their youth and they put that youth into work, into their work ethic and their habits. It is absolutely baffling to me how we think as Americans that our 20s is a time for us to just fuck off life. In our 20s, we think that it's a time for us to trick off our youth. Let me tell you something. You have been lied to. You have been bamboozled. People telling you, oh, you young, enjoy yourself, enjoy your youth. Yeah, enjoy your youth. However, work hard so that when you're older, you don't have to go sign up at Walmart to be a goddamn door greeter because you need some extra funds and additional funds to bring in because you can't retire comfortably. You have been lied to. We have to streamline our lives. We have to streamline our success. And the way to do that is to get focused and very, very serious about what it is that we want to accomplish and have in our old age. The retirement age is goddamn 62 years old. Some of us these days don't even live to see that age. So you done worked your whole life from 18, 17, some of us 15 and 16 years of age. You done worked your entire life up to retirement age just to hope that one day you can retire at the ripe age of 62 years old. You retire and then you die at 64. And all that money that you done paid into Social Security is going to the next generation, not you. Listen, let's streamline our lives. The way to streamline your success and to get there quickly and to get there with as fewest bumps in the road as possible means that you have to plan for it. Not only do you have to plan for it, but we have to execute, people. Stop spending money on frivolous bullshit. Stop caring about what you got on your feet. Stop caring about what you got on your back. These brand and apparel companies ain't doing shit but making money off you. When have they ever gave you a check? If you ain't investing in it, I don't want to hear nothing about Nike. If you ain't investing in it, I don't want to hear nothing about Adidas. I don't want to hear nothing about Dolce & Gabbana. I don't want to hear nothing about none of these companies that's just living lavishly off of your hard-earned dollars while you here struggling, but you walking around with a Gucci belt on or a Gucci purse. Streamline your success. And you do that through preparation and execution. We have to get control over what we care about. We have to change and change. When I say change, we have to fundamentally think about what it is that we want our future to look like and then start building towards that. We have to learn how to filter out everything else that does not serve our goal. You got to stop giving a fuck. Plain and simple. You got to stop giving a fuck about what people think. Who cares if you riding a hoopty? Do it work? Does it get you from point A to point B? Are you still able to get to work and collect that check that you need to invest and continue to grow your wealth? Who cares about what it look like? Who cares if it's rusting? Who cares if two of the wheels is all fucked up? Does it get you from point A to point B? Some of y'all are going out here and you're financing vehicles for terms that last up to 7 years. Are you insane? Are you absolutely insane? Just so you can ride around in what? Listen. I'm passionate about growing wealth. I'm passionate about putting myself in a position to win and putting my family in a position to win. Let me tell you something. Everybody's not going to want to go with you. People are gonna hear what you gotta say. When you start talking this type of talk, people are gonna let it go in one ear and out the other. They're gonna ignore the majority of whatever it is that you're telling them. I promise you, you're gonna get a lot of people that do that. Some even in your own direct family, immediate family. That's okay though. You try to deliver the message. Just get back on task. You tried to help them out. You tried to show them a different way to go. They didn't want to follow. They still wanted to be out Saturday nights blowing their 20s, getting wasted, high, and drunk. While you was working, while you was building, while you were putting your effort and your hard-earned diligence to task. You let them do them. You do you. Listen, I appreciate y'all for watching. I didn't want this video to be too long. I really do thank each and every one of you. Hit a like and subscribe if you have not already. And share this video with somebody else that needs to hear this message. And I will see you all in the next one. Later. Love y'all.